Hey guys, Soph and Shell from the Grapevine Podcast.
As you know, we're sponsored by Birmingham's own Shake It Well. To go get your bottles, you need to go across to the Instagram page and DM them on shakeitwell_Bravo Juice.
They are being delivered directly to your door now. Okay?
Right to your door.
Brand new service. So send them a DM, hit them up, let them know which flavours you want.
Yeah, man.
5 different flavours. And they will deliver it for you.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Grapevine Podcast. I'm Shell.
I'm Soph.
And we're back. We're back. We're there. They're on the screen. I think it feels like we've been away for a minute still.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
Because our last episode wasn't here.
No, it wasn't.
I think that's why it feels like we've been away for a little while.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, we're here. In our comfortable, cozy setting. We are home.
Why are you packed up with the cushions like that?
I don't know. I saw it and I just thought I want to cuddle it.
You might as well just get the plant and put that in front of you as well. Because the way you're hiding in the cushion.
I've got a little something to hide, actually, thinking about it. I have.
Behave.
But it's fine. You guys should be focused on that anyway. Should be looking here.
But yes, guys, since we've last been here, we've embarked on our 3rd live show.
Whoop, whoop.
The Pod Squad.
We have.
Man. We did a little something, a nice little collab with Jedi and Glam's Tan. We all came together as a trio, and well, it's a quartet, isn't it? Really?
It's 3 brands is trio, but yeah, when you're thinking about how many people there were, then quartet.
Yeah.
So to be specific,
we come together,
but yeah,
and we put on a real nice show down there in Croydon.
If you missed it, you missed out.
You missed out on some good shit.
Yeah. It went really, really well.
It did.
Obviously, because we were 3 different brands, we chopped up the show into 3 different segments. Glam's had her segment with the Talk Real podcast. And yeah, this is your cue to go and add everybody up, by the way.
Yeah.
And she had some people on her panel doing their thing. Then we came second in the middle.
Yes.
Smashed it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Grapevine
we
all
did.
day, all the time.
We have to. We actually smashed it. And then we had Jedi Online, go and add him up as well. And he had some amazing people on his panel too, and chopped it up a little bit.
Yeah, man.
And a little bit more and a little bit more. It got quite deep and quite heavy.
Yeah, it did. It did get deep and heavy.
Yeah, some good conversations happened. Lots of crowd interaction, which we always promise to bring.
Look out for the clips, guys. We've got so many good clips that will be coming out over the near future. But yes, it was a good night and we thoroughly enjoyed our segment. It was good. We had some real good talent on stage with us by the likes of Creeper Crisis. We had Fend from Table Talk podcast, and we also had
Table Time.
Lord of Mercy. Table Time. Podcast, and we had our Cardo from the Great Syndicate.
Yes.
So yeah, man, they helped us to put on a good show with the help of Ginger J, our great friend.
Yes, doing his hosting comedian thing. You know, he did well as usual. Always, gets in there with the crowd, getting their views. Ginge just knows us.
He knows us.
He does. He's known us a minute now.
We know how to just, he knows when we need him. He knows how to pull the crowd in, when to push it, when not to. Ginger's so on point with it. So, it was a good night. So please look out for some new shit going your way, because that's what we'll be doing, man. Definitely going to be putting on more shows and giving you all that goodness. But yes.
But it went very well.
It did.
And at this point, actually, we have to big up our sponsor, Shake It Well, because he actually came from Birmingham and he bought all of the drinks. Mm-hmm. They were on sale on the night as well, so everybody could taste them.
Yeah.
And yes, we have to go and add them up at Shake It Well _Bravo Juice on Instagram.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. So, yes, that's how it goes. Always have to do the niceties and big up the sponsors, them. But, yeah, man, we're doing a little bit of a come together, a little chitter-chatter. And we've literally just done our episode about snoring, which has done quite well. It's been quite funny to hear the reactions of people and the snoring situation and how it makes people feel in couples and etc. But today, as ladies, as mothers, we wanted to speak a little bit on our pregnancies and, just the stories of what got us through, what they felt like, and, how we're happy not to go through it again.
Oh, you know that.
Well, boy, I'm talking on my behalf. How I'm not happy to go through it again.
I'm not sure. To be honest, I didn't mind being pregnant. I'm not planning any more children, but I actually didn't mind being pregnant the first time round because that was an easier pregnancy.
Yeah.
Now, I've got 2 children and there's a 9 years age gap. So when I got pregnant with the first, I felt like there was, I don't know, there's a lot of unknown, but I don't think I was that scared.
What? When you was younger? I don't think you were.
I don't think I was that scared. No, I wasn't. I don't remember feeling scared about it. I remember feeling very excited. I think the second time round I was a little bit more scared because I feel like when you've been through it once, you kind of know what to expect. You know certain dangers that can happen and different things. So, and then you hear other people talk as well, don't you? You spend a long time listening to other people's birthing stories. I feel like
when you do, it's just...
You
buy all of those pregnancy books, you're doing all this good shit, and you're going to every midwifery bloody appointment
and antenatal classes.
Yeah, and you're really like attentive to everything that's being said. You're Googling shit, and nothing could prepare you for the day. But I feel like what you said, mirroring that, I was 16 when I had my first son, and literally it was an eye-opener, definitely. But I know I didn't definitely give a shit the way I would give a shit about having kids now.
Yeah.
As in, like, in my head, I was like, yeah, I can handle it. Body can handle it. We'll get through it. The birth was horrible. I ran from that pain. Or I tried to run from the pain multiple times, which entailed me getting...
Did you try and run from
because I was trying to get off the bed.
Oh.
Ass out. I was climbing off. I don't know where I was going. I had it in my head that if I just got up, right, and I could just get off that bed, I was moving away from that pain. It was weird. I don't know what. It might have been the pethidine, the gas in it. I don't know what it was, but in my head, I was like, if I could just get off here, I can. And my mum had this rag. I was like, Mum, just put it here. And none of it was helping.
The rag. What was the rag for?
I don't even know.
Was it meant to like pat your head?
It was probably to pat my head, but I was just like, if you could just put it where the pain is, it can help.
Oh, to act like an ice pack.
I don't even know what. It didn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense saying it now. But all I know is at the time that was the most painful situation I could have ever gone through in life. And I don't think I remembered it as clearly as I feel like I remembered it until I had my second one. And when I was actually giving birth to my second child, that's when I remembered the first one. Like, that's when I thought, oh,
like the trauma came
my
back.
Fucking God, why the fuck am I back here again? How did I get back here again? We know how I got back here, but at the same time, like, why am I back here again going through this? It was the most painful thing, the second time one, because I was a bit more ready for it. And nah, man, it's not the one.
Yeah, the pain is something else, isn't it? The pain is something else. When that first contraction licks and you imagine it getting stronger, because you know it's going to get stronger.
Yeah, you do.
As the labour gets on, and you think, whoa, okay. And I'm supposed to deal with this for however many hours. I don't even know.
It's not the one.
It is different.
It is different.
I know when my contractions started, they were very light. I was cool. But I remember saying to my brother, I think you might need to take me to the hospital, you know. It was 2 weeks early.
Really?
So I was just like, oh, I might be all right, but I had a scare 2 days prior.
Yeah.
And it was that day, I remember, I'd never forget it. I was paying my water bill at the post office and I just got this nasty contraction. And you know how close the main shop where Scott Arms is?
Yeah.
Now I'd gone from, I caught a taxi. I remember catching a taxi from Scott Arms to where I used to live.
Yeah.
You know that's a 10-minute walk.
That's a 10-minute walk.
But
you couldn't make it. Yeah, you have to. If you're at that stage, you have to.
And I just thought, oh, he shouldn't be coming now. It's 2 weeks early. In my head, I was thinking, yeah, I know they can come a little bit early, but why when I'm out and about doing my shopping, I'm on my own? Mm-hmm. So I called the kid's dad and I was just like, you're going to have to come home from work just in case. But yeah, that was just a scare.
Was
those contractions.
Was he urgent when he came home? Did he come home in haste or did he just take his time?
Nah, he came home still. He left work early. He was home within probably an hour or so. He didn't drive, so it was like, yeah, I think he caught a taxi rather than a bus.
Yeah.
And came home. And I just remember the pain in my back. It was
that's what I was running from on the bed. That's exactly what I was asking my mum to put the rag on was my back, because my back would not stop hurting. It was the most. I think with boys it's worse. I don't remember that back pain with my daughter, but I can definitely predominantly remember it with
the son.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what it was, but yeah, that back pain licked me, and I just remember being on all fours in my front room, rocking back and forth, and my mum came over after she'd finished work. So I had my partner there, and I had my ex-partner there, and my mum, and my mum was just rubbing my lower back while I was literally just on all fours, and I couldn't get comfortable any other way. Really? I just had to stay like that and have my back rubbed, and then I put a hot water bottle on my back a bit.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Sophie!
I know you don't like hot water bottles. I know.
Hot water bottle. Why is that going to do it in that time? What is it doing?
Heat packs help, don't they?
Really?
They do.
Oh no! If I give a shit about heat at that point,
period pain, contraction, anything.
I get it with the period, but I just wouldn't be thinking about a water, like put it on my back.
That's what I needed, man.
My days.
But yeah, he came 2 days after that anyway. And
wait, they didn't come then?
No, that was on the Friday, and he came on the Saturday. So I was fine that was on the Thursday, sorry. The Friday I was fine. I didn't sleep much on that Thursday night, and I sat upright in the sofa.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't lie down because it was just too painful. But I was fine the Friday, lived normal life, just chilled out in my flat. And I remember the Saturday morning just not feeling right. And then I got a little twinge, and I just said to my brother, you're going to have to take me to the hospital. Really? Because after the other day, I ain't going through that. Get me to that hospital. So we went, and then they tried to send me home because they said I was only 1 centimetre. I was like, I ain't going home. Because you just don't know.
I think they send you home at 5 centimetres these days. They don't business.
So, yeah, the 1 centimetre, they said, nah. Because it's your first. Because it's your first. You basically don't know what you're talking about.
Basically.
And when I put my foot down, I just said, nah, I don't really want to go, to be honest with you. I'm nervous about going home. Can I please stay? I had to argue with them a little bit.
Did they let you?
They did. They'd let me stay in the end. And it's a good job they let me stay, because it took me a couple hours to get to 4 centimetres. But then from 4 till when they could see his head, listen.
It was quick.
But they kept trying to send me home because my waters weren't breaking. Even though I was dilating, my waters didn't break until the very end.
This is the part I don't get about this process in this country here. Why are you always trying to send people home? And I don't get it at this point.
They want to save space,
midwives just don't freaking listen, especially the ones that ain't got no pitney themselves.
Yeah.
They don't listen to anything. Because
I haven't been through it, so...
No, but they don't treat people like individually. We're all going to have a different type of pain, and our babies are going to come at different time frames, and there's no textbook to pregnancy. And I feel like they try to measure it by, oh, you dilated, and they know they've seen on so many occasions women that have been 1 centimetre and then 2 twos, it's 9 centimetres. Yeah. So why are you adamant to send people home when you know, like, for that 2% that might take that bit longer, isn't it safer for the person to be
exactly
in the hospital? It just doesn't make no sense why they do that shit.
It doesn't, does it?
Even the pushing part, a lot of people always complain that they tell you to push. They tell you not to push
when you should
you're
be
trying to push.
But sometimes your body just actively pushes anyway. I don't know about you, but I felt like when I got to about, well, somewhere in between that 4 and 9, and the contractions were coming, and I felt like every contraction I needed to push.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the bathroom because I felt like I needed to do.
Yeah.
But I know it sounds terrible, but that was the feeling I was getting, like in my lower back.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, do I need the toilet? And I was confused about whether it was the baby coming or whether I needed the toilet. Listen. So I kept going to the toilet, and I kept coming back to the bed, and I was just like, no, but I didn't need the toilet. So that must mean I need to push
the energy to go back and forth from the toilet to the
up
bed.
And down.
I know that when I had,
but they told me to as well, though.
Really?
They told me to try and stand up for the gravity or whatever. And then I remember keep hearing people say that when they've been pushing, they've actually accidentally shit themselves a little bit. So I didn't want to, I didn't want that to happen. So I just kept thinking, if I've got the urge to go, I need to just go.
Yeah,
I want to try and avoid that at all costs. But no, it wasn't the toilet I needed. He was coming. Those contractions were saying, yo, I'm making my way down and down and down. And yeah, as soon as my waters broke, then they saw his head, then they listened to me.
Which
meant I had no pain relief up until they could see his head.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the part that's being missed. So I get it, but I don't get it. And I get that they're trying to save space because there's a lot of people that come in prematurely.
Yeah.
And it's hard to gauge who to send home. Mm-hmm. But boy, it's just one of those ones because if you're close to that time of having the baby anyway, and it's your due date. So it's like, come on now, believe in a bitch. But that whole shitting sensation, I definitely took a good shit.
Was that when he was coming out?
When I was having my second.
Oh, okay.
And I must have turned that way towards the kid's dad. So I turned that way. He's behind me, and I don't know. It helped me with the pain relief, I think. I thought I was pushing. I pushed out shit and baby, and he literally was like,
"What a laughing.
Laughing. You know how he stays. You thought he laughed about that. He didn't laugh about that. All I could hear him going." He was scraping his throat. He's like, "Oh, Lord have mercy. I'll go home." He wants to go home. He was like, "What the fuck? What the hell did she do?" And then when the nurse had to wipe my bum, I could see him go, "Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ." Oh, Lord have mercy. He was really pissed off. I'm not going to lie. As soon as I had that baby, he ducked. He was like, "I'm gone." He didn't help me dress or anything.
Really?
He was pissed. The first baby I threw up on him.
That's easily done.
I threw up all over him and he left right there. He was like, "I don't care if the baby comes right in the time that I'm gone. I'm going to get changed." I was like, he's such a drama queen. So he went home and got changed. And then the second time, I took a good shit. Yeah, he came back.
At least he didn't shit on him like you threw up
on him.
I
might as well have the way he was going on.
Because all them things are caught up in the bed sheets anyway, and they just quickly changed.
Listen, he was not impressed. I think it was because he got a good view. He's seen what I ain't even seen.
Oh God, that is funny.
He was pissed, but it's one of those ones I can't help it. I couldn't have cared less at the time.
No,
I was just like, I gave me the relief.
That can't be helped. It's something that can't be helped. I mean, I hear a lot of women go through that. I mean, I'm glad I didn't, especially after hearing your story. But at the same time, it's natural, and you've just got to get on with it.
It is what it is.
Your body does what it wants to do in that time.
And that's what it did.
I did the vomiting with my first pregnancy.
Really?
Yeah. I got it through this end, not that end.
Yeah.
Every contraction was just like, bleh, and I had the bowls, you know, them cardboard bowls just lined up next to the bed.
That's not the one.
And his kid's dad was having to go and find the people to go and to come and change them because they were just there lined up. I think I vomited at least 5 or 6 times during that little piece of labour where they didn't believe I was in established labour.
I can't even imagine you getting mad at the nurses because they don't believe you because you're so soft.
I wasn't. It was him, to be fair. I wasn't really that mad. I was more trying to deal with my pain.
Yeah.
But I was telling him to go and speak to them.
It's not good. It really isn't. But I think the differences between having my older kids compared to having my last son, definitely a major difference, definitely, because there was such a big gap between him and my daughter. It literally was like, what the hell? So I know going through that labour was different. I was embarking on a C-section anyway with that one because my bad child, which I always call the naughty child out of my clan, is the third child. And that rotted came like, she wasn't just going to come in normally. She came in this dramatic way where I literally woke up the one morning and I was bleeding, gushing blood. And I remember calling my nan and my mom. So I remember getting on the phone and calling my mom and saying, "Mom, I don't think something's right. I'm bleeding and it won't stop." And my mom went, "It'll be okay. Just call the hospital." It's like she was really, "Just call the hospital and see what they tell you to do." And then I phoned my nan. My nan's phone's engaged. So my mom's obviously phoned my nan.
And she's probably panicking, but to you, she's calm, you know. So you know that, innit?
Yeah, I know. I called the hospital, come off the phone, I rang my nan, and my nan did the same thing. "All right, just get to the hospital, everything will be fine." But they did admit later on, they shat themselves.
Of course they were.
They were shitting themselves. And my nan was like, "This is why I'm telling them not to have too many kids because this is the problem." She had a good rant, but I knew it was serious when I got to the hospital and they both came.
Oh, really?
I'm sure they both came. I'm sure Nan and Mum was there. And I didn't know I was going to have a C-section at that time, but I could not stop bleeding. But at the time, when they did the checks, they found out that she had ruptured the cord and that's why that's why I was bleeding.
Okay.
And then they took me in for an emergency C-section. And that wasn't very nice because I didn't expect it. But she came out looking like a Cabbage Patch baby. She was fine. You wouldn't have thought she'd gone through any type of trauma whatsoever. And she was absolutely fine. So that one, I understand why she came the way she came, because she's built on
trouble
madness. Yeah, she's built on madness. So
and
she
it's funny that you've said that, because when you're talking about how
she behaves. She wasn't ever just going to come here and just be like, I'm coming around the normal way. I'm just going to do something a little extra. And I'm going. And so I say to her, I carry a scar for you, you cheeky cow.
Yeah, isn't it? You've still got the scars for them. Because, I mean, we've both experienced natural and C-section. Because my first one was the natural. That's the story I just told with my son. But, my daughter was the C-section, emergency C-section, which was going to be my worst nightmare. I didn't want it.
Yeah, we know, Sophie.
I really didn't want it. I cried, and I'm not even ashamed to say.
Was she
bawled
the wrong way round?
Yes, so she was breech all the way through.
Breech, wasn't she?
All the way through. So we tried everything. We tried to turn around manually. But then there was a proper procedure that they were supposed to do. And on the Monday, 2 weeks before she was due, because every single scan, she was just breech. They said, "Oh, do this exercise, go into this position, sleep
she's too
like
long
this."
to turn around.
Her legs were long, I think, and then her legs were twist up. It was like she was sitting in my womb, cross-legged, how you would sit in assembly, just sat cross-legged. She was just like that. So then her legs ended up coming out a bit twisted and everything as well because of that. But like you said, and she's the one that caused me the problems now. Cheeky little madam, little diva. So it's like it's very strange, isn't it? It's like they give you signs from the get-go that they're going to take the absolute piss when they get here.
They do. They definitely do.
I mean, she can be a little darling, but she can be a diva as well. So
they do give us signs. They definitely do.
Even before she came, even before the emergency C-section, 2 weeks before she was due, 2 weeks before that, I had a scare, didn't I? Do you remember? You'd not long had chiro, and I'd broken up from work for my maternity leave, and on that night we had a big mama's night out. Do you remember the photos we took? We went out. Where did we go? We went to a comedy show, and I thought this is going to be my last event.
We definitely were big mamas as well.
Whenever I look at that picture,
my God, we look terrible.
No, we don't look terrible.
We were
just round and natural. Naturally round.
That picture, I look like the wildebeest on them pictures.
You'd just given birth.
I know, I'd just given birth. And you know, the thing was, right, in my head, I thought if I put the highest heels on and the jacket that covered everything, it would make me look slimmer. And I looked like the badoof. Like, I looked terrible.
And there was somebody else who was pregnant with us as well that night. And the three of us in a row in that picture. I had my belly. Wow.
It was horrible. It was her.
But that night, we'd gone to the comedy show. I had a lovely time. I thought, yes, that's my last outing before I have the baby. And then that night, I woke up in the middle of the night, again, like you, gushing with blood.
Not good.
The bed was covered. Had to, again, go in the ambulance, go to the hospital. I was in hospital all that weekend. I think I came out the Monday. I was in there for a couple of nights, and they had to give me like steroids to stop her from coming because she wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
So they said, if you have her now, boy, she's going to have to stay in because she's tiny.
Yeah.
Well, both my kids were tiny. So, yeah, man. Not easy at all. But the difference in having the two with the age gap and being older and your body being older.
It is.
It's not nice.
Not the one.
Starting again hurts.
And we was in our 30s when we had them last ones. Can you imagine trying to do it in the 40s? Listen, they would, I don't know, social services would have to come and collect me. They'd have to come and take me. Like, before the babies even come, they would have to come and take me because I literally would be a disaster. I can't stay awake now for the better good at anything, let alone with child.
I think your body would force you to, though.
My body would force me to what?
To stay awake.
I don't know about
us that. Women are naturally switched on. When the baby cries, our bodies are connected, our breasts are connected.
I've got grandkids.
So you'll get when they cry and then you start leaking, all of that, your body's connected. I've got grandkids
and I can be there sitting there 1 minute and next minute I'm like, my daughter's she's like, Mom, just give me my child. Give me my child. Because I'm just that's not there anymore. Like, that child chances me rolling over them and then in the morning I'm like, have I got a child? Where's the child? Oh my God, where's the child? Because it just didn't come naturally. Having Cairo was enough. Yeah. That pregnancy was enough.
Yeah.
And it was quite warm as well that year.
It was very warm.
It was freaking warm. And I remember just fighting in them less stages just to put a dress on.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh my God, I need a nap. It was just a lot.
It was very hot.
So having him was a lot. And I remember I said I said to the doctor, I want to have him naturally. I don't want another C-section. He goes, okay, well, you can try. And I tried to have him naturally. And my partner at the time just literally got pissed off at me. He's like, just have the damn child already. Because they gave me everything. And I tell you, it got down to the point that when I lied down, the pain would stop. When I sat up, it would start.
Yeah.
When they kind of induced me. And in the end, the lady said, okay, we'll break your waters. And I'm telling you, her breaking my waters that night, I felt like that was the baby coming.
But you know, the breaking of the waters is meant to, and inducing, it's meant to be really painful.
But it was painful.
Rather than the baby coming naturally.
Well, the way it felt when that water gushed out, that was me thinking the baby came with it. Because the way it felt at that point, I was like, ah. And then she went, you only want 1 centimetre. 1 centimetre. I was like, 1 centimetre? After all of that? Just one?
9 more to go.
I was like, forget this. Like, I want to go home. And in the end, you know, I just turned on and it got to the point my mum was like, Lord have mercy, Michelle, when you got to have the baby. Because it's like 3 days in and they fed up of coming back and forth. And my mum was just like, you know what? Yeah, forget it. Like, just have the C-section. She was going mad because if I go home, I'm not coming back. And I went, just give me the C-section then. So I had the C-section after that.
I just remember bawling inside in the sheet like, I don't want this. I'll never forget that yellow foam, and then they took off my nail varnish. I was just like I was signing my life away.
So fucking dramatic.
Trust me, I was bawling. Even when they were trying to prep something to go in my back.
What made me laugh about your scenario with that was the fact that when you said that when you got in there, they said, okay, we're going to give you the what's it called, the epidural in your back, and you see your head.
Couldn't do it. Sorry.
And she must have went in there, right? This is not you time. This is baby time, yeah. And you went in there, you're like, I can't do it. And you was like, I had to call the father in for him to calm me down. I was like, Sophie, in my head, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're working with time here, and she's like, can't do it.
You call him? They called him in.
Because you was going on that bad.
They called him because I was crying, and when I was crying, I couldn't keep still for them to put it in my back properly, and they were like, "If you move,
you're gonna fuck your back up."
Basically, so they called him in the end because they said, "Oh, do you mind just coming in and just holding her hand or sitting with her or something?" Because
when you told me that, I actually had to think, "What the fucking hell?" Like, even I knew. I swear to God, I got the pillow and I put it in front of me, and I went, I just started humming. I don't know what the fuck I was humming, and I was like, because do you think my baby father would have come in and it cost me? They got mad. So for you to do that,
I had to, but I knew he'd be like diplomatic. I knew he'd come in there with his Queen's English and be like, yeah, you know, I'm just going to sit with her.
That's hilarious.
You know what he's like. Yeah. So I thought, yeah, he does need to be here just so he can kind of speak on my behalf, because I was in bits. Because I just remember my water was dripping and they kept saying to me, oh, you know, you're losing water. We've got to get this baby out. No, man. Trauma. Trauma.
It is traumatic, and there's no counselling after. You just get flung the baby and told to go home. So it's what it is, isn't it?
Do you feel like there should be counselling if you've had a traumatic birth?
I feel like there needs to be something. I've supported a lot of females that have come back from maternity leave, and it's come to the realisation that they've got post-traumatic syndrome from it. So there is something in it. Mm-hmm. But that's because they've had extreme cases. But at the same time, there's something in it. So I do think there should be something.
There should be. There's enough funding out there for things like this. Like, really and truly, it should. I mean, we've told our stories, and ours aren't even the worst stories.
No, they're not. I've heard worse.
Yeah, there are some people that go through the most. But I wonder if that is something that is offered for free afterwards to some really extreme cases. Let us know in the comments, guys, if you know.
If you get any counselling these days, but yeah.
Or there could be a waiting list or something.
I just don't think it's being made aware of as much because, again, I don't think people even speak about it because you get thrown into something else, don't you? Yeah. It's one situation after another, so you're led to believe you have to forget what's happened because now I've got the baby, I've got to get on with it.
The baby's fine. And especially if the baby's come out fine as well.
If it's okay after a traumatic situation, you're just happy that it's okay. But I don't think people realise the effects it has on you, because it does just do something to the parents. And it's not just mommy, it's the mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
So there is something
because
in
the
that.
dads have to watch us go through
Of course
all of that. And they're not going to look at us the same, are they?
Not necessarily, no. That's probably one of his problems afterwards. I don't fucking know, but it's not good. They can't. I think it has one of two effects: that either like really admire what you've been through, or it can really put them on.
It does. It happens. It affects us both.
It definitely does. But yes, let us know your pregnancy stories.
Yes, please, guys.
Females and males, because we know you all both go through it. Even though the men don't push out the picnic them. Like Sophie said, you're part of the experience. So
you are.
let us know what your situations were and how it went. But yes, guys, that's all we have from you. Yes. Go add us up on Instagram, grapevine.podcast.
And send us a DM with anything you want us to speak about. Just give us some ideas for future topics and things like that. Also, you can catch us on the radio as well if you listen to the radio, hot92.net.
Every Tuesday.
Link is in our bio on our Instagram.
We want you to do that most important thing that you should be doing when you're watching our podcast, and
click that like button.
Subscribe,
please. And you know what? Share as well, please.
Share.
Whoever you think might enjoy our content.
And then you should go and creep across to our Instagram page and add us on grapevine.podcast. Yeah, man. Check it out. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time. Bye.